success requires a lot of effort, a lot of failures, a lot of ups and downs. If you don't love what you do, you will not succeed. My name is Lea Baroudi. I'm an AUB and HEC graduate. I've worked in consultancy for many years before I moved to the educational sector, and then I moved into the public sector. I'm the founder and the head of March, a conflict resolution organization here in Lebanon. And I'm also a certified mediator, and I'm a member of the Mediterranean Women Mediators Network. March is a conflict resolution, sectarian conflict resolution and youth empowerment NGO focusing on marginalized youth that are vulnerable, susceptible, or have been drawn into sectarian-based violence, political violence. Its idea is to create stability for these youth and to reintegrate them into society and to get them closer together and to break the barriers of fear and mistrust between one another. It has changed a lot. It started as with working on mainly freedom of expression and acceptance of differences. So we were working on, with the youth still, but working on having the youth understand that accepting differences of opinion without wanting to shut each other up is important. And it's part of the whole mission of March to work on diversity and acceptance. But with time, I realized that we needed to work more on the ground, be more present in the field and actually try and do something that can make a difference in the lives of youth that have no hope and no chance at a better future in so many of these marginalized communities. And so March translated from we're doing certain activities and certain work with the youth here and there on these topics and promoting the ideas of freedom of expression into setting up two centers, one in Tripoli and one in Beirut, two youth centers on former demarcation lines where complete programs are being done. So what I've come to realize while working on the ground and with the experience I had working in marginalized communities is that we have two major problems in our country. The first one is fear and mistrust in one another as identitarian or religious communities, where we start, clustering into these identitarian or religious communities because we are afraid of each other and because we don't know each other enough. The second one is the marginalization of large segments of the population here in Lebanon, who, because of this marginalization, do not feel that they belong to Lebanon. So they start going into other identities that they want to belong to, whether it is sectarian or religious or ideological. And the whole idea of March is to actually work on these two topics, so break the barriers of fear and get people to know one another, build bridges. And the second one is to work with the marginalized community so that they feel like also they have a role and a voice to play and a role and to belong to this country. I'm proud of a lot of things that we've done because they were very challenging and because a lot of people told us and told me this cannot be done. But I think the projects that I hold dearest to my heart, which are mainly focused in Tripoli, the northern capital, was first and foremost the first project I did there, which is a theater for reconciliation that grouped former fighters from opposite sides in a play inspired by their lives, and who a lot of people told me, you're going to fail and it's not going to work. And the second one, which is the Cultural Cafe and the Center, where our youth reintegration program has been happening for the past 5 or 6 years, where we have supported and helped hundreds of youth to rebuild a future for themselves and look at life differently, change their perception and move away from violence and hatred. HEC impacted me on many levels. I think that my corporate background and my business background, which I learned in HEC, gave me a different approach into managing NGOs and into funding an NGO and leading an NGO. So I don't think I would have had this approach, which is result-oriented, adaptability, flexibility in everything that I'm doing, if it wasn't for my experience and background in HEC. No, what's nice about HEC and about the alumni community, which I came to realize with time, is that even for someone like me who's so overwhelmed, who doesn't have time, when there is this link or this bond, even with people that you don't know, and whenever you need them, they're there, and whenever you need each other, they're there. So I think that's the nicest thing. I might sound a bit cliche, but I truly believe in it because this is what I experienced. Even if you do HEC, it doesn't mean you have to go into the business world. And really only do what you love, because this is the only way you will be good at it, and you will put the time and the sweat and the effort to succeed in it.